Okay, do we have any residents online who would like to make remarks? Okay, I have one so far. Any others?
Looks like there are 3, if you look at the chat.
Oh, I'm only seeing one.
I just see one.
Oh, maybe the same person did it 3 times.
Yeah, it was earlier before we started.
Okay.
Yeah, also make sure if you do the chat that you're sending it to everyone. If you want to send it to everyone, sometimes it'll automatically send to a person, which is kind of annoying.
Okay, so we have Lena Kennedy. You have 3 minutes. Wait a minute, it's not on. Oh, there we go. Okay, you're unmuted.
All right, can everybody hear me?
Yep.
Okay, great. Thank you guys for offering this opportunity to speak. I am going to be emailing this letter to you, everyone, later today. So if you didn't catch it all, you'll see it in your email box. But I wanted to say that to the members of the Oakland Mills Village Board and other interested parties, it is with deep sadness that I write to you today in a response to another incident of intimidation in Oakland Mills. As many of you have seen, Village Board member Larry Pretlow on Wednesday last week sent me a cease and desist letter, making several false allegations about me and threatening legal action. This is not the first time Mr. Pretlow has come after me. Indeed, among other things, his Board of Education campaign page ran an open letter to me, a private citizen, as a paid advertisement last fall. Additionally, Mr. Pretlow also recently sent similar letters to the one I received to a private citizen and a member of the Village Board. I will not get into a back and forth with Mr. Pretlow, not because I can't defend myself against his baseless allegations and attacks, but because to respond to his specific points is to further enable this kind of threatening and intimidating behavior, and it has been enabled in our community long enough. It has been enabled by cynical actions of some and by the silence of others. But regardless of which side of that spectrum you fall on, we are all suffering because of it. There are people in our neighborhood who are afraid to attend village board meetings because of threats and bullying. Some are also concerned about frivolous action and the possibility of having to hire an attorney to respond to these absurd allegations. This situation has exposed a chronic leadership failure. Our community dialogue and our village board proceedings have grown so caustic that reasonable people are abandoning the necessary work of community building at a time and in a place where we need as many people involved as possible. And what of the reasonable among us are still involved? The silence in response to Mr. Pretlow's writing is perhaps the greatest indictment of the current state of affairs in our village. Mr. Pretlow and those who both support and encourage his behavior are not champions for our community. They are harming our community. Whatever progress they hope to achieve is undermined by their refusal to hold themselves accountable for their own behavior, instead choosing to shout and point fingers at others. As I have said before, Oakland Mills deserves better. No one in our community should be intimidated to come to a village board meeting or threatened because they shared their personal experience with others. Nor do those who feel threatened and intimidated deserve our silence, because when we stand aside as others are threatened and bullied and intimidated, we allow it to continue. Again, we deserve better. Please do better. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I respond?
Yes, would anyone from the
Because
board?
what we cannot do is talk about me and allow this to be a platform for me to be attacked. This is unfortunate. What we see happening is clearly there's this person has some kind of race problem, and it's more clear. Yeah, look up out of surprise. It's more clear. And if you think this way about me, if you want to take me speaking on the experiences that I had in my life, my personal growth, I wrote something on a Twitter account maybe about a couple of years ago now about what I have been through in my life, and writing about that was therapeutic for me to be a better person in my life. And as we saw recently, my ex-wife published a video message about whatever these accusations that people like Lena Kennedy are trying to peddle. They're false. I've never been charged of any crime. She says I've been convicted of 2 crimes. Lynn, one of my colleagues, also went on Facebook peddling these false allegations. What we're seeing is I'm being accused of using the Oakland Mills Community Association platform as peddling and springboarding a political career. But what you just witnessed was Lena Kennedy, because she has no other way of winning. She knows no other way to win but to lodge some type of false attack on me. Yes, I did send you a cease and desist letter, and you're harassing me. And now you're using this form where myself, my colleagues, and our neighbors are coming to find out what the business is in our community. You're taking this as an opportunity to personally attack me. So everything that you just accused me of doing, you are the one who's actually doing it. You're doing it.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Come
We're
on
going
now,
to move on.
no, because this is because when you allowed her, but you allowed her to speak as long as she wanted. And
No, I cut her. I hit mute at 3 minutes.
But she said but you cannot do that, and this is illegal. And for this to be allowed, this is illegal. You have a board member who clearly has some type of problem with me because I'm a young, Black, articulate man who fathers his children, who is engaged in the community. I know it makes you uncomfortable. It makes you uncomfortable. And I'm talking to you, Jonathan. It makes you uncomfortable to hear this, but imagine how I feel being on the receiving end of this, right? Because I'm vocal and I say, the redistricting our schools through the social economic status of families does not do anything for anyone. When Lena and her husband are the ones who were architects of the plan that purchased the Verona, and then they wanted to go and buy Columbia Point, and now you sitting here like you care
Okay,
about.
It's ridiculous. We are far off topic.
Yeah, but you allowed her to do this, and this is illegal. You allowed her to do this because this platform is not that. This was a political attack. She's running for public office, and she used her residence remark to attack me. It'd be different if it was someone else, but she's a candidate for office attacking me at a board meeting while she is a candidate for office. That's illegal. And what you allowed, Mr. Chairman, was for the status of this community to be jeopardized.
Okay, I've had enough. Does anyone else on this board
happen during a board meeting?
Does anyone else on the board want to address this?
I do. Jonathan, can you hear me?
Yeah, the board is unmuted.
I would like to,
You like to start with an apology for being racist towards me and towards people who look like me who live in the Oakland Mills community?
This isn't anything for you, bub.
Jonathan, can you hear me?
Going after.
Jonathan,
Yes, the board is unmuted. Everyone on the board is unmuted.
I would like to speak.
Lynn, you're unmuted.
Okay, so you can, what Lena brought up, actually, I think this is not something having to do with anything about you and your private life, Larry, and it's not exclusively, no, because you did the same thing to me.
Larry Pretlow.
You did the same thing to me. You registered a complaint against me because all I can think of is because I questioned the vote of the village board.
Right.
And something that you didn't like the way I was proceeding. And suddenly I get something where you're filing a cease and desist thing against me.
Because I saw what
You're
you wrote
asking,
on Facebook.
just do not interrupt me, please. Do not interrupt me,
Mr. Chairman, I saw what she wrote about me on Facebook.
Do not interrupt me.
Do not interrupt me. Do not interrupt me. Do not slander and harass me.
If we cannot come to order, I'm adjourning the meeting.
Well, this is probably the best bet.
Move on.
Probably the best bet. But this is an attack, and it's not fair. And what you're doing to me, I've never done to any of you. Even when we have disagreed, I've never done this to any of you. I have every right, like you feel like you are so high, mighty, and privileged, Lynn, to say how you feel. I have a right to say how I feel. And I too represent people in this community who look like me. And you don't even come to events on this side of the community. You don't even come to the events. One person came to the event here, and that was our CA rep. And they're attacking her too. And it makes no sense. It's no yelling, but you not sit here and accuse someone of something and say things about someone's personal life and record it. And I'm going to sit here and listen to you slander me and harass me. That's not how you go about doing this. It's not. And if Lena has something to say, she could have put it in writing the same way I put it in writing what I said to her. You don't come on a board meeting where you have someone from the council member's office here to talk about things going on in the community and attack me in residents' remark. You don't do that. I'm not a person that rates that likes to go around and claiming oppression and talking about how someone's doing something to you because of the color of your skin. I'm not for that. But I am wise enough to know when it's happening. And Lynn, you have a problem, a serious problem, and it's sad. And I never called you pathetic, and I never threatened your husband or you. And I saw what you wrote about me on Facebook. I saw it. So you sit here and tell me to stop and let you talk. You have been talking, and you've been writing, and you've been slandering me. And no, you have.
We're going to stop. What people are writing on their private Facebook pages is not the business of this board.
Exactly.
If it did not appear on this board's Facebook group, if it did not appear on the Oakland Mills Village Facebook, there is no need for us to discuss Facebook in an Oakland Mills Village meeting. Now, are we going to move on, or am I going to end this meeting?
Please move on, Jonathan.
I think it's time to move on.
And with the election, with this incredible situation that we have before us.
Would it be possible to have an online candidate forum?
That's up to the Bobs. They had just canceled it. I'm not sure. I can unmute him. Bob?
He says he has no mic.
He doesn't have a mic.
Yeah, it might be a little hard to monitor from their end because.
Well, if I could say something.
Yeah.
We should not have a online candidates forum, because what we just saw in the beginning of this meeting was it wasn't, this meeting was misused the way that it's supposed to go. So if we have an online candidates forum and someone can just get on here and say whatever they want to say about someone, and if someone responds to defend themselves, then they're attacking the person who is peddling false statements and allegations about them. So what let me finish, Lynn. Let me finish. Set the example, right?
Yep.
Let me finish. Right? Because I'm the one that's most underrepresented, right, on this board. And people like me are the most underrepresented.
If I can just speak, I just want to say what a candidate forum is. Because
Let Larry finish.
Right, let the full talk so it can be recorded, and then you can use it later, right? So what I'm saying is that I understand that the candidates forum is for concerned community citizens to ask the candidates who are running to represent them where they stand on community issues and how they're going to advocate for our community, right? Yep. It doesn't take rocket science to understand that. But what it should not be allowed is that someone running for one of the seats to come and talk during residents' remarks and attack someone else who they go around saying whatever they want to say about.
Okay, this is not the forum we're talking about anymore.
Okay, well then that's not. Every time I talk, we don't never want to talk.
Here's what I'm going to say.
I'm trying to see the pattern.
In resident remarks, any resident gets their 3 minutes. We've had members of the board go to the other side of the table as a resident and speak to us. So we cannot predetermine what residents are going to speak. They sign up.
But Mr. Chairman, when I start to talk, you cut me off and you mute me, right? You bang the gavel, you adjourn meetings, right? She got her full 3 minutes out attacking me. She got her full 3 minutes out. The same way you saw people posting things about me in that Facebook group and would not tell people to stop. I'm the only one you try to put a muzzle on. I'm the only one you try to control. And there's a problem. There's a problem, and the problem is not with me.
Okay, I am not muzzling anyone, and I would appreciate the support of the rest of this board because I've had enough of this. I ended one meeting this year because we could not come to order. It was 9:30 at night and we could not come to order and we could not recognize who rightfully had the floor. Would anyone else like to weigh in on this, or are we finished with this meeting?
Jonathan, I just,
No.
Okay, Larry.
I have a lot to say. Do I have time? Can I speak? Can I say something?
Yes, it's bulletin board.
Okay, well, my bulletin board is this, right? Because I should be able to say something. What's happened in this meeting is absurd, and it's an embarrassment to the community. Not because I responded to someone's long-winded blowhorn statement about me with a bunch of lies in it, but because this seems to be a problem with when you're a younger person of color speaking up, advocating for what you believe is right for your community, for the people like you in your community, and for the people you care about, whether they look like you or not. But for me to be opinionated, as opinionated as I am, and blunt as I am, when I speak, every time I speak, it's an attack on someone. But for someone to come to Residents Remark, say whatever they want to say, post about me on Facebook, go around the community saying whatever they want to say to anything, clocking everything I do on social media. God, what are you, obsessed with me? Clocking everything that I do. You're the problem, not me. And that's what I want to say. Hopefully the person's listening. The same goes for Lynn.